So 287. Today we're talking about some standouts in yesterday's matchup between Edmonton and LA, a game which was very chaotic. We saw LA, they go up 4-0 with a 4-0 lead, and Edmonton fought back. We saw the Connor McDavid show. Connor McDavid ended up tying it late in the game, and it went to overtime, and then Phil Danault obviously gets the winner. But I just think this game was a testament to the resilience of Edmonton. And even though they lost, they shouldn't be ashamed, I don't think, because of the way they played towards the back half of the game. And obviously, every team that plays wants to win, and that's their only goal. So, in I know McDavid, Draisaitl, those guys played well, but at the end of the day, they want to win, and it doesn't really matter if they play well. They just want to win hockey games. But I think this was a really great game from both sides, really even game from both sides. And we've seen every year the split between Edmonton, this fourth straight year that they played each other in the playoffs. Edmonton, the first year in 22, they won in seven, and then the next year they won in six, and then this year, or the year before, they won in five. This year, I don't envision that trend continuing into a sweep. I think this is a series that goes long, six or seven. I would see that going seven. I think with the way both teams played, very physical series, very physical start to the series. And obviously, everything started up a little bit further with Darnell Nurse and what happened there a few days prior, and the whole situation leading up to that kind of escalated things a little bit further. I think with Edmonton, it'll be interesting to see if Evander Kane plays next game. I know Elliot Friedman talked about it yesterday. See if that how that situation plays out and so on and so forth. Obviously, we got Trent Frederick playing, and a lot of their guys were playing actually, and that's really interesting to see. We want to see Edmonton healthy. I think that's one of the biggest things is the biggest question marks on Edmonton right now is are they healthy and will they get all their players back in time? And I think the answer is looking more towards yes now. Still some players that are injured, obviously. And I mean, obviously, we could talk about Matthias Ekholm for a while, and there's a couple other guys in that mix. I mean, John Klingberg's been dealing with injuries for a while, but I think the two main guys you're looking at are Ekholm and Kane in terms of injuries. And obviously, Ekholm's going to be out longer than Kane. Kane's supposed to be back pretty soon, and we'll see what he is able to do come playoff time. I just think when talking about Evander Kane and his impact, I think he could provide an impact up the wing for them. And outside of that, we could talk about Connor McDavid all day. And how he played in this game was just phenomenal. 4 points. He ended up leading both sides in terms of the scoring for individual scoring. And then after that, Evan Bouchard also was just racking up assists. He was racking up passes. He was making plays all over the ice. And Evan Bouchard in the playoffs is another player you need to elevate his game, especially with Matthias Ekholm out. You need to rely upon him more at both ends of the rink, be able to rely upon him more both offensively and defensively. And I think he was doing a great job throughout this game of being involved at both ends and just being able to provide a steady impact there. Leon Draisaitl, I mean, pretty self-explanatory with him, but I think the guy that was actually pretty noticeable too was Trent Frederick drawing into the lineup for the first time. And I thought he looked noticeable. He was checking really well. He was physical. He was engaged on and off the puck. And that's a testament to the way he usually plays and how he usually plays hard and how he usually plays fast and how he usually plays with speed and how he plays in transition. And he fits that bottom six of the Oilers really nicely. I don't know what kind of impact he's going to provide offensively for them long term throughout the playoffs, but certainly a lot of impact that he showed on and off the puck in this game, which was really interesting to see and really awesome to see from him and showed a really good game. Zach Hyman, who was very productive last year in the series against LA and really started off strong in this series once again. I think they're going to have to rely upon him for that goal scoring and that net front scoring ability, both on the power play at 5-on-5 for the Oilers to continue to generate goals in this series and be able to provide an impact. I think Zach Hyman is one of those guys you can rely upon a lot in those situations at the net front, both at the power play and on 5-on-5. And I think Hyman's a guy you need to have going regularly. He scored a lot last year and was very active around the net front in the playoffs, and that's where he usually scores his goals in the regular season too. And Zach Hyman, he's just a guy you need to have going regularly and need to rely upon regularly and be able to rely upon him to have an impact as well. And I thought Jeff Skinner, another guy who's playing his first career playoff game, hard to believe. And I thought he showed decently. He didn't show a ton. He was a little inconsistent, but I think he was noticeable and certainly noticeable the speed, his ability to play in transition, his ability to play up ice, play north, play direct sometimes as well. I thought that was really intriguing to see out of him. As for LA's side, Adrian Kempe and Andre Kuzmenko, those are two guys who have been really reliable. Kuzmenko's been a really nice fit with guys like Kopitar and Kempe, who he can really rely on his rush play and his rush patterning and also his in zone positioning offensively to be able to cycle pucks and transition pucks, be able to play with speed up ice and be able to play with speed all over the ice as well. And I thought he was doing a great job of that. And Kempe looked really noticeable, just being able to use his speed, being able to drive through the hands of defenders and cut through contact and be able to avoid guys that way. He was just doing a really effective job of being able to play all over the ice and play in transition, play with speed, and was doing a great job. Quentin Byfield, another guy who really elevated his game yesterday, which is awesome to see. I think we might see a different level of Quentin Byfield this year, and I thought he was really great to see. He was just very engaged offensively, very engaged defensively, just very engaged in transition like he usually is. Just an all three zones player who is reliable all over the ice. Phil Deneau had 2 goals, and he's just a battler. He's a constant worker. He's constantly involved around the net, constantly involved in battles, constantly involved in the forecheck. He's a guy you can rely upon in many different situations, mostly defensively, and you get a lot of impact out of him defensively and being shut down center and being able to shut plays down positionally, being able to box out guys, being able to be involved in the pressure of opponents and pursuit of opponents that way. He's just doing a great job overall from a holistic point of view. Kevin Fiala, 2 points, goal and assist, 6 shots for him. Very active in the box score, very active offensively, very active around the net, very active cycling pucks and just being able to be involved holistically offensively as well. I thought he was doing a great job. And I thought a lot of LA's top six was really noticeable. They have an underrated top nine. They have underrated amount of guys who can make an impact inside their top nine. Tons of speed up the wings, tons of speed in transition, and especially from their third line guys, they can provide an impact as well. And I thought Mikey Anderson was noticeable, Vlad Gavrikov was noticeable as well, and then Trevor Moore, who I always seem to like and notice Trevor Moore come playoff time for the Kings. I think he's always a guy who's you can rely upon him offensively a lot, making plays, being able to get pucks back on retrieval situations off the forecheck, and being able to pry pucks away from the boards and being able to get pucks off the wall and get them interior. I think you rely upon him for a lot of the dirty stuff that a lot of the other players don't necessarily want to do, but he's willing to do, and he does it so consistently that he's just a staple inside their top six and a guy who can. Again, rely upon him offensively, but also is very underrated defensively in that component of the game as well.